Good evening. I'm going to reconvene the regular meeting to order at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. If you'd all rise for the invocation. Dear Lord, I thank you for the opportunity to gather in your name. Lord, thank you for all the blessings that you provided for this community, our council, and our nation. Lord, it is a season for us to remember you. Thank you for everything you provide for our families. Lord, continue to watch over us. Allow for your guidance to prepare us to make the proper decisions for our city. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
If you remain standing for pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Are there any changes for the agenda for tonight's meeting?
No, sir, there are not.
Okay, just a reminder to council, following our regular session, we will have an executive session this evening. At this time, I'd like to ask for approval of the minutes from our meeting on November 25th, 2025. The minutes have been provided in your packet. If there are no questions or comments, I'll accept the motion.
Councilwoman Grassett, I make a motion to approve the minutes from November 25th, 2025.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Grassett. Is there a second?
Councilman Holland, I'll second.
We have a second from Councilman Holland. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, those pass unanimously. At this time, it is my honor to present a proclamation to the Seaford Fire Chief, Jack Wilson, for his exemplary service to the Seaford community. I'd like to read this proclamation. From the Office of the Mayor, tribute to John Wilson, Seaford Volunteer Fire Department, for 15 years of service. The City of Seaford is proud to acknowledge the significant milestones achieved by dedicated first responders. We'd like to commend John Wilson for 15 years of service to the City of Seaford and surrounding communities. John began service with the Seaford Volunteer Fire Department in 2010, and since that time, he has proven his commitment to the protection of life and property. John has shown his commitment to public service through his roles with the Seaford Volunteer Fire Department, including serving as captain, assistant chief, and currently fire chief of the fire company. Additionally, John has served on several state and local committees for various fire service agencies. The City of Seaford and area residents are eternally grateful for John's selfless commitment to service, and we recognize the risks and sacrifice that come with the position. This impressive milestone also enhances the credibility of the entire Seaford Volunteer Fire Organization and reminds us of the integrity and character needed to serve as a firefighter. John's example of volunteerism gives our community every confidence that the Seaford Volunteer Fire Department will remain a pillar of excellence in our community for years to come. With that, I, Matthew McCoy, Mayor of the City of Seaford, by virtue of the authority vested in me and joined by the City Council and all of our citizens, do hereby congratulate John Wilson on 15 years of service to the Seaford Volunteer Fire Department. Chief, congratulations.
That's all right. So was Hitler. No, he wasn't. Oh. Whoa, we gotta go down the line. birdies. One more.
I just want to say to the Honorable Mayor, City Council, City Manager, City staff, and the citizens of Seaford, I'm going to digress a little bit because I really was just going to come here to say thank you. Not expecting a lot of stuff. I wrote it as a farewell and thank you letter, but really farewell is kind of outdated because I'm really not going anywhere. I'm still going to live in the community. I'm still going to help the fire department. 15 years sounds a lot here, but it has been a pretty good journey for myself. But it's actually 44 years with me in the entire Delaware State Fire Service, especially serving 26 years in the city of Wilmington and starting out in Newcastle County as a young kid, following my dad's footsteps. So, I guess that a lot of people ask why 8 years as being the fire chief. I really didn't expect to be here that long. I came to a fire company with seeing if I could just help out, and got a whole nother family. So try to get myself together so I can read this to you. My wife had to proofread it, so.
Thank God for wives.
Thank God. It's either her proofreading or Matt proofreading it, so it's and he corrects my Facebook post all the time, so I want to kill him most of the time, but it's fine. So as I prepare to conclude my 8 years as fire chief of the Seaford Volunteer Fire Department, I am filled with gratitude and pride for the journey we have shared in serving our community, working together with each of you, past and present. Leaders and stewards of our city as a privilege and an inspiration to all of me, to me, because I've learned a lot from you guys through the years. Your steadfast support and collaboration have been integral to the progress and safety initiatives we achieved throughout my tenure. The trust you placed in our department empowered us to respond effectively to emergencies, enhance public safety, and foster a spirit of resilience and compassion among residents. During my 8 years as fire chief, the Seaford Fire Department responded to over 7,665 fire and rescue calls and 31,656 emergency medical services calls for service. These numbers reflect the unwavering commitment and professionalism of our firefighters and EMS personnel, as well as the trust our community placed in all of us. Each call represents an opportunity to serve, protect, support the residents of Seaford. I am deeply proud of what we accomplished together. Throughout my tenure, my staff and I have actively supported the city of Seaford in a wide range of projects and events, from assisting with the 911 center closures to ensuring safety of success of Riverfest and Christmas parades to participating in budget meetings and any other tasks that the fire department presence was needed. We've always been ready to serve. These efforts reflect our commitment not only to emergency response, but also to the broader well-being and vibrancy of our community. The Seaford Fire Department's unwavering commitment to fire prevention and community service has truly set our membership apart. Through regular fire prevention events, educational outreaches, active participation in community programs, our department has become a model for excellence and engagement. These efforts have not only improved public safety, but also fostered strong bonds with the residents we serve, ensuring that SVFD will remain a trusted and respected presence in Seaford. Throughout my career here, I will never forget challenging fires such as Harrison Street and at the Family Dollar Store, as well as seamlessly integration into the city's COVID-19 response. The experiences exemplify the unwavering dedication of our team and the city's commitment to working nonstop for public safety. No matter the crisis, whether a devastating fire or a global pandemic, SVFD has stood ready to serve, protect, and support the Seaford communities. As I look into the future of our fire service, I must emphasize without sustained funding from our government bodies, we will not be able to support SVFD's combination fire service system. The need for us to update apparatus, properly train firefighters and emergency medical technicians, ensure prompt, timely response, and robust fire prevention activities is greater than ever. Continued investment is essential to ensure that SVFD can meet the growing demands of our community and maintain high standards of service and safety that our residents deserve. I urge our city leaders to recognize the vital role of the fire and emergency medical services that provide the resources to our department that needs to thrive. Thank you for your dedication to the city of Seaford and the respect partnership you have shown my fellow firefighters and me. The successes we have celebrated, from improved emergency service to strengthened community ties, are a direct result of all of our leaderships and your team's commitment to us. While I am stepping down from my role as fire chief, my admiration for the city of Seaford and those who serve it remains unwavering. I am confident you will continue to lead our city with integrity, vision, steadfast focus, and the well-being of who call Seaford home. Serving as your fire chief has been one of my greatest honors of my life. The friendships, memories, the sense of purpose I have found here will stay with me always. I am deeply grateful for the trust you placed in me and the opportunity to work alongside such dedicated individuals. As I move forward, I will always cherish my time with SVFD and the city of Seaford. I look to see how our community will continue to grow and thrive. Thanks again for 8 remarkable years as fire chief. I look forward to witnessing and continuing the growth and success of the Seaford communities and staying connected to this exceptional community. With appreciating regards, John Wilson, Fire Chief, Seaford Fire Department, 2018-2015. Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, and I apologize for putting him on the spot, but Vice Mayor, as the fire and police liaison, would you have any comments or anything you'd like to say?
Off the top of my head, under Chief Wilson's leadership, the transparency has increased manifold. We are the recipients of so much information that was not available or not made available in previous years prior to his tenure. The public is much more well informed because of the information he shares with me and the information that I'm able to share with the council and to the larger public, because these documents are public. So I appreciate very much your candor. You've been the siren for our financial needs for the city to participate. Later on tonight, I will be giving a report that indicates the department's dedication to training, which is a new addition to the report within the last, say, year and a half. And your dedication to the fire service over 44 years now. I believe I've served as the fire liaison for a little over 8 years. I think you came in just as I came on and the previous chief was coming off. So you're basically the only one I know. I look forward to working with the new president and the the chief. But I am really appreciative of you heeding the clarion call for what are immense challenges in manpower. You've invested in equipment that saves labor. You can fight more fires with fewer people, not because it's more efficient, because it's a necessity. There are fewer people who are volunteering, and we are transitioning. Your argument for sustainability has been heard, and you know, we take it very seriously. So we're very appreciative of your dedication, and we wish you all the best. I know that that you will be missed in the room here. Thank you.
Please.
Real quick, without these guys here, this won't happen. The dedication of those people right here, the volunteers, the career staff. Seaford is the busiest fire station in Sussex County, second busiest EMS station in Sussex County. These guys do everything that they make sure that they're protecting your homes 24/7. Without them, I'm nothing. And with the new chief and president coming in, they understand that to the fullest, making sure we take care of them.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chief, I just want to thank you. This is more personal, I guess, but you've always been so generous of your time. As you know, I have several small children. I was talking to them this week, and two of them said they want to be firefighters when they get older. And part of me believes that's because of how kind and generous you've been to them over the years, and showed them the station and during our little visits. And just want to thank you personally for all you've done for our community and our family. Okay. At this time, we have to move on to public comment. Is there anyone here this evening for public comment?
Yes, we have Miss Jean Briggs here for public comment.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I know we last met on November 25th, and I was hoping that this situation would be resolved. But I received a letter from Mike Bailey, again, only stating that the letters were sent out. Unfortunately, we have gathered signatures from the residents within 300 feet radius confirming we did not receive the required notices. Moving forward, we would like to understand what processes are in place to ensure these letters are actually sent out. Since currently it appears that there is no accountability regarding the missing notices. Mike had mentioned that he would locate the mailing list that was used. He has the list been found. Additionally, these notices were supposed to be sent out via first-class mail. Can anyone provide the mailing receipts or any documentation showing that they were processed? Bottom line is we need to know what measures will be implemented to verify and prove that the required mailings are completed in the future. I do have the residents' signatures that were within 300 feet saying they did not me, just me, all of us did not receive the required notices. So for him to send a letter and say they were, that's not true. All of us wouldn't receive. I did receive letters from him. I've received other letters. So if that letter was sent out, I would have received it. And I think this needs to be taken seriously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Briggs. Is there anybody else here for public comment?
There is no one else here for public comment.
Do we have anybody online for public comment?
No.
Okay. Do we have anybody here for correspondence?
We do not, sir.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to move to the public hearing, and let's see what time it is. It is 7:19 PM Eastern Standard Time. Move over to public hearing number 1.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So this is the public hearing number 2 for the Martin Farms Phase 2 sewer project. I'll try to be a little more clear this time with my presentation. But it is, what you're going to see here, a lot of what you're going to see here is going to pertain to public hearing number 1 and public hearing number 2, which is for the water portion of the project. So let's see if I can figure this out here. So as you all know, we already have, and I'm just going to skip to the map. We've already approved phase 1 of this project, and we've already received funding for this project, and we've closed on the loan for this funding of phase 1. Phase 1 is the portion on the right-hand side that includes both water and sewer mains that we're going to move out from the back of homes into the streets themselves and relocate those services, water and sewer services, out to the front yards as well. So with that project, we received 100% principal forgiveness for the water portion of that project of phase 1. So while we were still finalizing some of that, we decided to put in for the phase 2 project for the funding, hoping to get some principal forgiveness for phase 2 water project. We did get some principal forgiveness for that water portion, but for the sewer portion, we do have to go back and get another loan for the phase 2 sewer, and that's what this public hearing is for. And so phase 2, a sewer is $2,070,000 for that, with a 20-year loan at 2%. The issue is that we did not, because this got approved from the state so quickly, we did not have time to budget this in FY26 budget. So we want to go ahead and get this approved to budget it for the FY27 upcoming year. So we did get a revised binding commitment letters from the state, giving us a timeline to execute those after we get it funded in the FY27 budget. Let's see. So this is just some of this is not going to be exactly how it states, because we're going to try to push the project. What we're going to try to do for economy of scale is make it into one project, both phases, and do them both after the July 1 date. And if we do get it, lucky enough to get it into the budget, we'll bid it as one complete project. And I'm just going to jump to public hearing number 2 if I can, because, well, let me ask if there's any questions for the sewer.
Are there any questions or comments from the council on public hearing item number 1? Are there any questions from the public on public hearing number 1? Okay, let's go to public hearing number 2.
So again, this is Martin Farms phase 2 of the water project, and the map still pertains. It's still going to be the left side of that map, which would be the phase 2 water project. We did get the loan amount. I'm going to jump back to this. I'm sorry, it's just it's all on this one screen. But the phase 2 water is 1.25 for the project. We did get principal forgiveness of almost $389,000. So the loan amount would be $861,000 for a 20-year loan at 2%. Again, we would try to do this project after July 1st as one complete project, should we be fortunate enough to get it budgeted in the FY27 budget.
Okay, are there any questions or comments from the council on public hearing item number 2? Any questions from the public? Okay.
Okay, so public hearing number 3 is the Nylon Well Improvement Project. That's a $2.7 million, estimated $2.7 million project. Yeah, $2.7 million project. We put in for a 20-year, 2% interest. We were fortunate enough to get all of that as principal forgiveness, so we're getting 100% of it funded once upon completion of the project. So it's going to cost the city no money to complete that much-needed project. In that project, or in that loan, is the design of the actual project. So the project is not actually designed yet. We do not have, we have some preliminary engineering done on it, but we do not have the design of the actual project done yet. So this is just stating that we have 5 production wells. 2 of them are pretty much offline, so we're down to 3 production wells, and it just shows the need. We have with the PFAS concerns, what we have now are 3 shallow wells. We're looking to try to do this as a deep well to get into a deeper well, a confined well, which would protect us from the PFAS regulations that are coming. That just shows kind of the area where it's really hard to see, but where the wells are. There's a couple up north there on the top of the picture. There's 2. There's one kind of in the top middle, and then there was one down in Delaney and one in Nylon. Those are the 2 we don't use. So you can see the little square down there. It says site location. That's looking where we're trying to site it, because you can see it's kind of in the middle of Delaney and the existing Nylon well, which both of those are offline. So we feel like we're gonna need a production well in that area. There's where we did 2 test wells. This is on Nylon Boulevard on the east side of the golf course. We did 2 test wells there, and it's looking like we can produce some pretty good water there, but there's more engineering to be completed. There's just the worksheet showing the estimate. And again, we're getting 2.7 million of principal forgiveness. So there's a kind of a rough schedule. Hope to get the completed design in April of 2026, bid the project in June of 2026, award in August, start in October, and then complete the construction in September of 27. So you can see it's a rather lengthy process. Same thing that was stated before. Questions?
All right. Any questions or comments from council? Any questions or comments from the public? Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening.
For public hearing number 4, we're going to look at, it's a final site plan review for the proposed child care center. Coastal Property Ventures LLC on behalf of Title Health Nanacoke. It's located at 100 Rawlins Drive, tax map and parcel 331, 5.00, 13.01. The current zoning is R4 institutional residential. So here you can see the site location, proposed site location, southwest of the existing Mears Center off of Bridgeville Road and Herring Run Road. There's an overview of the plan. So they're proposing to build a 12,000 square foot building. It's going to be a KinderCare on the Mears campus. The project requires 20 parking spaces. They're actually going to provide 40 spaces, with 2 of those being ADA. The project received a variance for the child care use from the Board of Adjustment in May of 2025. The project will also require approvals from the State Fire Marshal and Sussex Conservation. Okay, and there's a kind of a blown up view of the project. The KinderCare is actually the building on the right. It'll be accessed off of Rawlins Drive. And then they have a future site that they may come back for later on.
Any questions?
Do you have any questions or comments from the council on public hearing item number 4? Any questions or comments from the public? Okay. Thank you. Okay. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to close the public hearing and reopen our regular meeting at 7:30 PM Eastern Standard Time.
Councilman McQuillan, so moved.
A motion from Councilman Quillen, is there a second?
Councilman Holland, I second that motion.
Second from Councilman Holland. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, we're back in regular session. All right. So at this time, we're going to make the, go through the voting process. So at this time, for action item on public hearing number 1, I'd like to ask for a motion.
Councilman McQuillan, I'll make the motion to adopt Resolution R 2025-06 that would permit the city to enter into a loan with the Delaware Water Pollution Control Revolving Fund for the Martin Farms Sewer Relocation Phase 2 project. The loan would be used to finance gravity sewer main relocation in portions of the Martin Farms neighborhood, West Locust Street, Reed Street, and McKean Street. The loan amount will be $2,070,000 for a term of 20 years and an interest rate of 2% as presented.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilman Quillen. Is there a second?
Mr. Mayor, Councilman Holland, I second that motion.
We have a second from Councilman Holland. Are there any questions on the motion?
Thank you.
All right, at this time, I ask for a roll call vote. I'm going to begin with Vice Mayor Dan Henderson.
I vote yes based on the findings of facts and the improvement to the community at large.
Okay. Councilwoman Stephanie Grassett.
Yes, based on findings of fact.
Councilman Orlando Holland.
Yes, based on findings of facts.
Councilman Mike Bradley.
Yes, based on findings of facts.
And Councilman Alan Quillen.
Yes, based on findings of facts.
Okay. Going to move over to public hearing number 2, item number 2, asking for a motion.
Councilman McQuillan, I will also make the motion to adopt the Resolution R 2025-7 that would permit the city to enter into a loan with the Delaware Drinking Water State Revolving Fund for the Martin Farms Water Relocation Phase 2 project. The loan would be used to finance the water main relocation on portions of the Martin Farms neighborhood, West Locust Street, Reed Street, and McKean Street. The loan amount will be $1,250,000 for a term of 20 years and the interest rate of 2% as presented.
All right, we have a motion from Councilman Quillen. Is there a second?
Councilman Holland, I second that motion.
We have a second from Councilman Holland. Are there any questions on the motion? If there are none at this time, I ask for a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Mayor Dan Henderson.
I vote yes based on the findings of facts and the improvement in general to the city at large.
Okay. Councilwoman Stephanie Grassett.
I vote yes, based on findings of fact.
Councilman Orlando Holland.
I vote yes, based on findings of facts.
Councilman Mike Bradley.
Yes, based on findings of facts.
And Councilman Alan Quillen.
And yes, based on findings of facts.
Okay. Move over to public hearing item number 3. At this time, I ask for a motion.
Councilman McQuillan, I'll also make the motion to adopt the Resolution R 2025-08 that would permit the city to enter into a loan with the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund for the Nalam Well Improvement Project. The loan would be used to finance the construction of the 2 production wells and a new treatment station along Nalam Boulevard. The loan amount is $2,700,000 for a term of 20 years and an interest rate of 2% as presented.
All right, we have a motion from Councilman Quillen. Is there a second?
Councilman Bradley, I second the motion.
We have a second from Councilman Bradley. Are there any questions on the motion? If there are no questions at this time, I'll ask for a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Mayor Dan Henderson.
I vote yes based on the findings of facts and general improvement to the community at large.
Councilwoman Stephanie Grassett.
I vote yes, based on findings of facts.
Councilman Orlando Holland.
Yes, based on findings of facts.
Councilman Mike Bradley.
Yes, based on findings of facts.
And Councilman Alan Quillen.
And yes, based on findings of facts.
All right. And last but not least, public hearing item number 4. I'll ask for a motion.
Let's get him
Oh,
to read.
Council-
excuse me, I'm sorry.
Get him to do the findings.
Let's do the findings of facts.
sorry.
My apologies,
okay.
Councilwoman.
All right.
findings of facts for public hearing number 4. The project is the Title Health KinderCare building. The owners are Title Health Nanacoke Incorporated. Property is located at Rollins Drive, tax map and parcel 331-5.00-13.01. Zoning is R4 institutional residential. We are proposing, or they're proposing to construct a new 12,000-foot building for KinderCare. Required parking spaces are 20. They are providing 40 spaces, with 2 of those being ADA. They received a variance for the child care use from the Board of Adjustment in May of 2025. This will require approvals from the State Fire Marshal and Sussex Conservation, and Planning and Zoning made a recommendation for approval to council on December 4th, 2025.
Okay. Now, at this time, I'll ask for a motion.
Councilwoman Grassett, I make a motion to approve the request of Coastal Property Ventures LLC on behalf of Title Health Nanacoke Incorporated, property owner of 100 Rollins Drive, tax map and parcel 331-5.00-13.01 for a final site plan approval for a proposed child care center as presented.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilwoman Grassett. Is there a second?
Councilman Holland, I second that motion.
We have a second from Councilman Holland. Are there any questions on the motion? If there are none at this time, I'll ask for a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Mayor Dan Henderson.
I vote yes, based on the findings of facts, and that this project will help attract and retain healthcare professionals with added services to the community.
Councilwoman Stephanie Grassett.
I vote yes, based on findings and facts, and for the continued need of quality child care in our community.
Councilman Orlando Holland.
I vote yes, based on findings of facts.
Councilman Mike Bradley.
Yes, based on findings of facts.
And Councilman Alan Quillen.
And yes, based on findings of facts.
All right. At this time, I'm going to move over to new business number 1, and Mr. Robert Herrera is in the house to give us an update on the Nylon Capital Center.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Rob.
Good to see you guys. As promised, I want to do regular updates. We've been very busy on site, as I'm sure a lot of you have observed. Just want to click through and bear with me as I show you a couple updated shots we have here. As you know, we're 9th Street Development Company. We had some aerials, and even these are admittedly a few weeks out of date. It's moving that quick of a clip now that I'm noticing things that we've updated since then. For instance, the roofs are fully completed. But as we look at this image, going clockwise from the far left, that's the Title Health building, around 25,000 square feet. The roof is now on. The glass will be complete here by the end of the year. We've been roughing to dry it in so that we can get all the interior work done. Going around clockwise, that's the Bright Bloom building now. So Bright Bloom, they had a great event. I hope a lot of you were invited in late September, early October. They're fully operational, and my understanding is they're almost fully subscribed now with children, which is really exciting to hear. They've been entering through the back. Apparently their students and kids love watching all the construction equipment going around. We warned them it was going to be an active construction site, so they've been dealing with a lot of the chaos around the campus, but they park around the side there. The next building's Dell Tech, right at the 12 o'clock mark here in the drone shot. I've been told the metal panels for that building are being delivered, and they'll be on in early January, so I'm really excited about that. All the glass is in, so that's actually dried in. It's a tight building now, and all the interior framing has been complete in there, so I'm really, really excited about that. And then to the right, on the far end, last but not least, is the mill. I have some more updates on that in later slides, but the interior framing is nearly completed in that building as well. So we've got a lot going on the campus. It's really exciting. It's been a lot of our focus. I think I mentioned in the last meeting, but a big undertaking was getting all the utilities in and underground, and a lot of that work's done, with a couple more to take place here soon. I'll move through this fairly quickly. Again, that's the Bright Bloom building. That's the Title Health building. Really excited for the canopy here. That just is a big part of this building. They're going to have outdoor orthopedic services underneath that canopy, which is pretty cool. Really, really excited about that. And again, the metal panel siding's showing up at the same time with the Dell Tech building. We're kind of doubled down on all the steel and installs and all of this. But by early January, both these exterior shells will be 100% complete. which is really exciting from our perspective. But what that also allows us to do, we've been intentionally not pouring curbs and stuff as we do all this exterior work, because there's a lot of heavy machinery out there. As soon as these exterior shells are complete, you're going to see all the curbing get finished throughout the campus, which will really start to tighten up the project. This is looking down the mill building, the new courtyards that are being fully developed now. We're putting a whole new facade on as well. I have some really great shots for that to show. The mill building is, this is the back of Del Tech. It's just missing a few rooftop units, which I'm told should be here soon. We have a crane coming to drop them off. But that building's fully tightened up. As I mentioned, all interior framing's done. We're expecting Del Tech to be complete in the summer. I don't want to speak to when they'll be open to the public, because they have a lot of equipment coming in for dental technicians and some healthcare equipment, and also a welding lab being delivered. So I don't want to speak to when they'll be open to the public, but we'll be done our part here in late spring, early summer. This is sort of just the back half of the building with some of the waterproofing that's taken place. All the windows are in there. It's really, I walked this with Dr. Brainerd from Del Tech just last week, and his full leadership team, and they were blown away with the size and scale of it. It really, this doesn't even do it justice when you're there. It has 20-foot high ceilings on the ground floor, which is pretty wild when you walk through it. It's a really neat building. Excited to welcome you all there at some point in the near future for a grand opening. Looking back at the campus, we're calling that Building E. That'll be the last building to be completed, but that'll start commencing here soon. You're going to see a ton of activity take place there as soon as these shells are done. That'll be the next focus. So you're going to see a lot of movement out front. There, as I mentioned, Dr. Brainerd, there you go. He's got a shot. Toured with him and Justina Thomas. Had a really great tour of the building. I think they're really excited with it now. I don't think they quite visualized how big this was going to be. You know, you see a lot of these plans come together, but they're really excited. And there's a lot of talk about the programming they're going to deliver with very much needed uses around the healthcare space and in the HVAC technician and electrician space, which I'm really excited to bring those trades here and training programs to Seaford. This is my baby, the mill, as we get into it. So all the cedars going in for the courtyards, glass curtain walls going up. This is even a little outdated. That's how fast we're moving. As I mentioned, we'll see some glass come together and close in this entire space in the next few days. Interior framing is mostly complete. As I mentioned, you see really high ceilings, really exciting. This is the former grocery store, so it's wild to think this is going to be an innovation center now. We're planning a grand opening party for late April or early May. All of you are invited. I want to welcome the community for that event. Really excited about that one. It should be a really good time. This is sort of the front new facade that we put on. With the grocery store, it was always concrete. And so we completely blew out the front facade and added all new glass there. So we're going to get a lot of natural light into the space for these office users. And just to remind you, it's coming soon. I want to invite you all there. That's my project that we run and operate. I'll be down a ton as this gets closer to opening. And we plan some big events. This is what we kind of looked at. You can see it coming together in the images. That glass will be going up soon. I'm sure you've seen a lot of these renderings. That's that great space. All this is framed out now. So it's really cool to walk through the space and really visualize how it's starting to come together. And looking back at those courtyards and Del Tech in the distance. And we'll have a pantry area, and this should be a pretty good event space. I talked to Representative Short 2 weeks ago, and we're planning a coffee in May here for one of his events, which will be really fun. Yeah, so and in the interim, we've leased 3 offices, potentially a 4th. The Division of Small Business for the state of Delaware wants to put an office in the mill here, which I think is really exciting. I actually meet with C.J. Bell, the head of that division, next Tuesday, just to talk about this specifically, about how they can get more engaged in Seaford. And I love the concept of them sort of waiting on patrons and kind of meeting with people in the mill space here. But for anybody who's interested in space, I want to put on the record, we're doing a 50% off the first 6 months for anybody who signs up soon. So again, we want that place really active and vibrant, pretty cost-effective offices. I joke that you can get an office for the price of your internet bill in some of these cases. So we have 2 pipes of fiber coming in, so it'll be a really great, connected, cool, innovative environment. And again, I mentioned we have 3 companies signed up, so excited. And we have a bunch of tours that are getting scheduled out now. There's something to see. And a lot of leasing interest throughout the campus. So that's it from my end, unless you guys have any questions.
Vice Mayor?
Yeah.
What's the capacity of the mill?
The mill has 23 offices, but they vary in size from a few single-person offices up. It's tough to say capacity because we also do a membership for $65 a month. That just gets you access to it, but you don't have an office.
Okay.
So we can easily handle up to like 200 people there. A mill of comparable size at the Mill Concord, this would be my third location. It's almost identical in square footage, has about 280 members. But at any given time, it's like 30, 40 people that use it at any given time.
Thank you.
It's almost like a gym membership where
Yeah.
people come use it for Wi-Fi or something, you know. Any other question?
Any other questions from council for Mr. Herrera?
Well, I look forward to, we're going to have a couple ribbon cuttings in early next year. Really looking forward to it. It's going to be a busy year. I said that last year, and it was, but we're going to have a lot of things finishing up this year, which I'm really excited by.
I will say a couple things while you're here, Rob.
Yeah, please.
One, Mr. Herrera, myself, and a few others got a chance to visit with Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester a few weeks ago.
Yep.
That was a great time to walk through Bright Bloom with them and then see how blown away they were with that location. Two, I always brag on Rob. You guys are very first class to deal with, you and your team. This entire process been very transparent, very engaging with the city of Seaford. So we appreciate you guys doing what you're doing on your end. And the last thing that comes to my mind is, you know, we've had various visits on that site over the last year and a half. And a lot of times we're kind of pointing to things. This is where this is going to be. That's where that's going to be. And we're pointing to like a mound of dirt.
Yeah.
And pylons and they're like, what's going to be there? And then now we're out there actually saying like, here's the building and you can see it with the windows and you can imagine what's going to be there. So that transition just in the last year has been fascinating. Just be able to show people, you know, they don't have to believe what's going to be. Now they can see it with their own two eyes. And that's just, it's been such a journey so far. So thank you for taking us through that.
Absolutely. I'm excited for future updates.
Vice Mayor, please.
Yeah.
I notice, I take my dad by there every week, and he sees differences. And, but one thing I noticed is that, you know, in your concept drawing, there's bar joists across the avenue.
Yeah.
But they are not there now.
Yeah.
Are they going back, or is there some? I know that, you know, there's always problems and challenges to a project. Is that concept still alive?
It's a concept I'm very passionate about. Funny enough, we're having a back and forth with the state fire marshal's office about that with clearances, which we have a code argument that we believe sound, but we're having a back and forth. So those bar joists are in debate because I think it'd be super cool, and we have lighting already planned for it. They are pulled down the store. We were going to put some back. We had to clear them out for I think it'd be really cool.
It's a great visual when you got that.
Yeah, we got to get the state fire marshal's office to agree. I think we can get them there. I think we have a decent code argument, and there's plenty of fire lane access around the campus to give you plenty of coverage for those buildings. So I'm hoping we get that done. Yeah.
And Rob and his team have been very gracious to come back with any additional updates as we move along into 2026. And
we hope to have some big lease announcements here in the new year.
Yes,
There's
sir.
certainly been tons of talks. We just got to get them to sign on the dotted line until we can announce it here.
Thank you for your efforts.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you much.
Happy holidays. Good seeing you guys.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to move on to new business number 2 and Dr. Tiffany Garcia. So I'm going to give an update to council regarding Peninsula Chiropractic.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
Mayor Matt. So I am new to the area, newly back to the area. I moved back to Seaford on October 1st, where I'm practicing at Peninsula Chiropractic Center. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar, but they've been providing health and wellness to the Seaford community for 43 years almost. I have been practicing chiropractic and acupuncture for 14 years in Newark, Delaware, with an award-winning office. Seen tens of thousands of patients at this point in my career, and decided that I want to partner down here in Seaford, where I'm from. So I graduated from high school here, grew up here and decided it was time to come back to where I'm from and partner with Peninsula Chiropractic. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to bring new services. There are other chiropractors here, of course, but there's no acupuncturist here. And it's exciting to be able to bring wellness, more holistic options to the community, to Seaford, to the surrounding areas. So I'm looking forward to that. So thank you so much for the opportunity
Of course, thank
of
you.
introducing
Thank
myself
you.
in the
Thank you.
business. Yes. Any questions? Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, welcome back.
Thank you for coming.
Yep. All right, and we're gonna move on to new business number 3.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor, Council. Good
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 evening.
evening.
So, here before you to discuss the bids that we received. So this is for Phase 1, which was also known as the Headworks Project. So it's the front end of the plant and the oldest portion of the wastewater treatment plant. So this presentation is a summary of G&B's letter of award recommendation to the city manager dated November 24th. So in summary, we opened bids back on November 19th. There were 2 bids that were received. One was from Bearing Construction, who is located in Maryland, and $13.1 million was the amount. The other was M2 Construction of Pennsylvania, and it was $14.7 million. Both bids were reviewed and deemed to be complete and responsive. G&B has reviewed the qualifications of both contractors. G&B is very familiar with and has worked with both contractors on multiple projects. They are both responsible, qualified, competent contractors. The bid difference between the 2 bids is approximately $1.67 million, or 12.7%. The engineer's estimate for this project was $10.3 million, so that is 27% lower than the low bid, or the low bid is 27% greater, excuse me. So with that said, obviously, the question is, what do we do? We've got bids, we've got a low bid that is more expensive than what we had anticipated. I was before you back several months ago, establishing the need for this project and that it is imperative that it proceed and occur, both for an upgrade and expansion of the treatment plant. And we have looked at this project, and it's our professional opinion that a rebid will not improve the bid amounts or garner more interest. We had 2 bids. One may ask, well, aren't there more contractors that are potentially interested and would bid it if we rebid it? And based on what we've seen across the industry specific to projects such as this, we don't believe that will be the case. I can expand more if there are questions on that. I'll certainly entertain those. G&B's, and then the other item too is that bids are time sensitive. There's a certain amount of time that the contractor is held accountable to lock their price in and for the bid to be valid. So we've got to take action on this within 90 days of the bid opening and either award or reject the bids. In this instance, G&B's recommendation is for the city of Seaford to award the bid to the lowest responsible contractor for the total bid amount. So that's Bearing Construction for $13.1 million and some dollars. With regard to funding, we have discussed the situation with the financial folks at DENRAC, and as the project is currently budgeted and with the loan closing that did occur already, there are adequate funds in the Phase 1 budget to award the project at the amount that the bid amount is. However, what also was included in the Phase 1 budget is contingency that needs to be in place through the duration of the construction contract, as well as the design of Phase 2. However, obviously there's not enough money for all that to happen initially, so what we're looking at here is like a 2-step approach. One is to award the project at the bid amount with the budget that is currently in place and loan closing that has already occurred. There's adequate funds for that to happen. Allow construction to, or allow the contract to be awarded, allow the agreement to be, processed and construction to start. And then concurrently, we'll utilize some of the funds in Phase 2 and Phase 3 and actually proceed with a loan closing to cover the shortfall in funding, which is approximately, what, $2.1 million. Obviously, too, we'll need to, as we move forward with the Phase 2 design, I can expand more on some of that. You know, our discussion tonight is more focused on the award recommendation, but there are steps with Phase 2 that we'll be able to, once we move forward in that design with completion of the engineer design report, we'll advance the design 30% and know a little bit more about the construction costs and be able to vet what was in the planning efforts. So I attempted to adjust the budget from what you folks had seen previously to make it clear, you know, what funding was being used where. So if you see the column that says Phase 1A total, that shows you how the original $14.3 million is being utilized to allow the construction contract to move forward. You can see that there's $15,000 in contingency, which is not adequate for the full term of that construction contract. So what we'll do is we'll utilize what was contingency funding in Phase 2 and Phase 3 and move it over into the remainder of the shortfall in Phase 1 funding, and it'll be used for the Phase 2 design and the remaining contingency that's needed, which is 5% of the construction bid amount, and that's shown in that column 1B. So with that, I'll entertain questions.
Do we have any questions of Vice Mayor?
Let's go back to pre-bid. How many people how many contractors attended the pre-bid?
Probably a dozen folks or so, but a lot of them were subs. I think there may be some suppliers and all. I mean, at that time, there was
only 2 primes?
There were 4, I believe, yeah. Of the 4 that were there, I expected that we'd have 2 bids, yeah. I mean, I will say that we just recently bid a project in Maryland that was twice the size of the project, and it was the same 2 contractors. The bids were much more competitive, even closer. The other contractor was low in that instance. So I think that's one of the reasons that reflects that their bid price wasn't quite as aggressive as the other contractors, but on that job, you know, they were within, you know, I think 2% of each other's bids. And the interest is just not here right now on the shore for these projects. You know, if we were bidding a $2 million pump station project, I think we'd have a lot more. We'd have a lot more contractors. But this project is a very complex project that requires a certain skill set, and we want to have a contractor that's done multiple projects like this. And you know, 10 years ago, there were a lot of folks that were on the Western Shore that were chasing this project. I mean, we reached out to everybody. I mean, in addition to the advertisements, we personally develop a list of general contractors that we want to know this project is out for bid, and we email them the advertisement directly. We follow up with them, make sure they have it, you know, and unfortunately, you know, the interest isn't there for work on the shore.
Follow up?
Please.
So, I know the engineering world is incredibly difficult, but the estimate has some age to it. Could you walk us through, because you obviously knew the timeline, did you have an escalation in your estimate for the extended timeline? And is this just a reflection, pricing is a reflection of the market? Because we have benefited from low pricing over the past decade, and now the chickens have come home to roost.
Pricing is tough, yeah, right now. It just seems like everything is just constantly going up. And not to blame the tariffs, but the tariffs definitely were something, you know, conversation with the contractors that, you know, there's obviously was concern with those, you know, some uncertainty. You know, the estimate was updated in, I think it was September of '24, and I know we re-looked at it, you know, in April or so. There wasn't much of an adjustment done at that point. But I think the real more extensive updated estimate was back in September of '24.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any additional questions or comments from the council? Okay. If there are no questions or comments at this time, I'll accept the motion.
Councilman Quillen, I'll make the motion to award the bid for the Seaford wastewater treatment plant upgrade and expansion phase 1 to the low bidder, Bearing Construction, Inc., in the amount of $13,100,500 as presented.
We have a motion from Councilman Quillen. Is there a second?
Councilman Holland, I second that motion.
We have a second from Councilman Holland. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to move on to old business.
We have no old business, sir.
We'll keep moving to reminder of meetings.
So we have two reminders. This meeting, city offices and utility divisions will be closed for the Christmas holiday, December 24th and 25th, 2025. Tricia Newcomer will be acting city manager December 19th through the 25th, 2025, and June Merritt, director of finance, will be acting city manager December 26th through January 4th, 2026. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you, City Manager. At this time, I'm going to move over to liaison reports. We're going to begin with Councilwoman and Dr. Stephanie Grassett in Code, Parks and Recreation.
In our code department, 2026 rental renewals, were prepped and sent out on December 1st. The 2026 license renewals for plumbers, septic haulers, and trash vendors are also being processed and sent out. They are continuing to do violation and routine inspections and perform plan reviews throughout the city. Also, we did have, in our code department, both Shannon and Buddy helped with the Christmas parade. As far as large project statuses, most of them have the same status as they did last time. Really, we just got an update on Nylon Capital. You can see as you go by that Mod Wash, that building, block and steel, has been going up. The water and sewer connections have started. That is moving along. We are still waiting for approvals from the Sussex Conservation District and DelDOT for the new Aldi cookout. They have been approved. We are waiting on the architectural plans for submission, and the demo bid package will be sent out in January for the Seaford Inn. As far as Parks and Recreation, just give some highlights in parks. They removed the spade and trowel planters from both the bridges and made an irrigation repair on the Middleford Road Bridge. Thank you to the Spade and Trowel Club for filling those planters for us, but they have been taken down for the winter. They made a few minor repairs to the Jay's Nest Playground. They assembled benches to be installed around Hooper's Landing. They cleared brush on Delaware Avenue near Cross Christian Academy and around the school district's bio pond. As far as recreation, they scheduled and held the first weeks of youth basketball practices. They sent out game schedules to the DIAA referees so that they could be able to help with reffing the 10 to 13 age league. They have 15 children registered for the Little Wrestlers Clinic, which will begin on December 11th, and they've ordered all the jerseys for the basketball teams for the basketball program. As far as our Parks and Recreation superintendent, she held a very successful caroling in the park on Monday, December 1st. I know many of us were able to attend, and it was very nice. Thanks to Katie for her work in that. Tina, who works in our Parks and Rec department, is going to be going to a Sports Summit conference in January. Katie also submitted the Urban Community and Forestry Grant reimbursement for those tree plantings that I have mentioned over the last couple council meetings. And that kind of wraps things up as far as Parks and Rec and Code.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Going to move over to Police and Fire and Vice Mayor Dan Henderson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Two complete reports, which includes Chief Wilson's final report. Under fire statistics, there are 1,207 calls as of yesterday for an average, total calls for 2025 for an average call volume of 3.5 calls per day. EMS, the total calls for 2025 are 4,320 calls for an average of 12.6 per day. So the total number of department responses is 5,527 for an average of 16.1 calls per day. Below, you'll see a chart for the total of November calls with distribution between the times of day, and we don't have totals for December, but they will be coming. The total number of calls for November are further subdivided. There's significant incidents. All assists out of the district. Nothing significant in town as far as the fire department goes. Apparatus status, brush 87 is out of service for pump repair. Next, you'll see the fuel usage chart, the number of times at the pump and the amount of gallons and cost subdivided in between fire and EMS. Under training, the next training will be Wednesday, December 17th at 1900 hours at Station 87. The Sussex County Technical Rescue Training will take place. And this is a feature that, next is a feature that I mentioned earlier, which Chief Wilson put in. It's been several months. It's been probably over a year. But this just goes to show his leadership and dedication to training, just the whole organization. But based on his leadership, you can now see just how dedicated the department is to committed to training. Under EMS and career services, firefighter EMT Lewis D'Onofrio and Elena Straits completed their E87.5 or Engine 87.5 driver training exam. Firefighter EMT Hunter Hardesty has completed his driver training on Tanker 87. EMT Aiden Twigg has started his EMT FTO with Seaford as a part-time employee. EMT Corin Dietz starts EMT FTO Friday with Seaford as a part-time employee. Lieutenant Mika Eddy has completed 4 years of service. And Lieutenant Robin Andino has completed 8 years of service. These are the milestones. It goes to show you just how stable the workforce is. And EMT Vicky Mast has completed 17 years of service. So we thank them all for their dedication to the Seaford Volunteer Fire Department EMS and career services. Under news and events, the big thing would be the County Fire Prevention Awards, which I mentioned at the last meeting. They were taking place right as I was given the presentation, and we did not have a name. So I would like to announce that Seaford had a first place winner in the county. Her name is Abigail Croft from Frederick Douglass Elementary, and she will represent Sussex County and Seaford at the State Awards on January 4th. So we wish her luck at that event up in Cheswold. New engine 87.3 has started production. You may have seen it on Facebook. They're cataloging the progress. You may have seen some of the pictures of the chassis and the frame being built, and that's in production at the Pierce Manufacturing Plant in Bradenton, Florida. The committee will be sent out in February of 2026 for the final inspection. We're crossing our fingers, hoping that it's delivered in time for the fireman's banquet, but we'll see what happens. It would be great if it arrived by then. The department was busy, and they assisted Unified Seaford on Thanksgiving with Thanksgiving prep and delivery of meals. They delivered 368 meals that day. Volunteer probationary firefighter Tarana Matthews has completed his requirements to become an interior firefighter. And on December 6th, the fire department had a huge presence at the Seaford Christmas Parade, and it looked like everybody was having a good time blowing horns and sirens and flashing lights. I would also like to, as a sidebar, thank the Antique Fire Truck Restoration Committee for their diligence in keeping up engine number 1, which made it all the way through, and then some. It's a bright spot. It's a historic piece, and we're grateful to them to keeping it up and making it look so good. It's a beautiful piece of equipment, and we were honored to be on it, be around it, walk in the parade. And the final thing I have here is the chief has already stated it, but his quote here is, "I would like to express my thanks for 8 great years as fire chief and wish the entire city government, staff, police, employees, and citizens a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season." Moving on to Seaford Police Department, Chief Kraft, as always, has a complete report showing the columns with the current year and previous years, the previous 4 years in place. Moving down under all crimes, there were 148 that counted as all crimes, and you'll see the distribution between felony, misdemeanor, violations, civil, and other, for an 85% clearance rate, which is hovering right around where we usually are historically, and that is above the national average. You'll see the crime view bar graph showing you, if you were to expand it, you'd be able to see the writing, but you'll see the most activity during the day, and then you'll be able to see the most activities during the hours of those days. Additional crime data below here, there were 24 complaints, including assault, aggravated assault, fraud, larceny, motor vehicle theft, and weapons charges, excluding shoplifting. That's at a 50% rate. That's shot way up over a previous period. Some of the previous cases have been cleared out, and they've been able to close out some of these cases. Under drug crimes, there's four total crimes, three adult arrests, and 1 prosecution declined. There was 1 overdose that the police department encountered during that period, and 1 search warrant. Under traffic, 193 traffic contacts, resulting in 128 citations and 27 warnings. 2 DUIs, 1 crash-related, 16 crashes, 3 not reportable, and 13 reportable. 2 hit-and-run accidents, 1 on private property in Woodland Mills, and 1 on Sussex Highway in Norman Eskridge. No bicycle or pedestrian accidents to report, and there was the alcohol or drug-related crash that I mentioned above. The summary report, I will leave that to you to peruse. There was nothing really significant that I can see here, but I'll let you be the judge of that. Under administration, there were a lot of ongoing efforts, and under community events, I would like to close it out with on December 7th, the Delaware COPS program held an annual blue light vigil at Legislative Hall, and that was attended by the chief and deputy chief. And that organization sort of concentrates on law enforcement survivors for those who have lost their lives in service. So the chief did make a remark that it was very moving ceremony, and it's something that's done every year. So we'll look forward to seeing that come around next year. The final thing is the criminal arrests, and you can see those totals and the distribution from years past. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Going to move over to administration and Councilman Orlando Holland.
Mr. Mayor, with regrets, I do not have a report to submit at this time.
We'll keep her moving. Over to electric and Councilman Mike Bradley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In meeting with Greg Brooks this morning, they built Phase 3 distribution expansion along Market to upgrade Seaford House electric service. Finished hanging the Christmas lights, set poles on Atlanta Road for future electrical needs on Atlanta Road. Continue with tree trimming. Greg Brooks submitted one permit for circuit expansion at Sunrise Motel. Worked on a permit with DelDOT for Seaford Innovation Center. Reviewed 2 solar applications. Attended the Demick Holiday Mixer. 5 of us attended. Greg got stuck in the 3rd row, and I'm sure by the time we got back, everyone wishes I had sat back there because I talk so much. Met with Laurel PD about requests to place camera poles. Did a quote for labor and materials. And a little excitement today. I was at Gavelli's, and a 2 to 3-year-old without pants crossed Stein Highway, all lanes, without getting hurt, and the police were summoned. And in closing, I would like to mention how much I enjoyed working with everyone this year for the common goal to better our city for future generations. Merry Christmas. Please take time to reflect on your faith, family, and friends. Thank you.
Amen. Move over to Public Works and Wastewater Treatment Facility and Councilman Alan Quinlan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I met with Director Mears and also the City Manager, Charles Anderson, yesterday afternoon, and I'll start off with Public Works. Placed barricades for Santa House and the Christmas Parade. Picked up trash along the parade route. Continuing to pick up leaves and limbs throughout the city. All the vehicles have been registered through DMV. Met with the University of Delaware for the CDS funding applications. Repaired major water leak at 805 Cypress Street on Saturday, December the 6th. Attended training classes and held multiple meetings and completed all weekly tasks throughout the week. Moving over to the wastewater treatment facility and the compost. Plant performance is good. Dewatering performance is decent. Dealing with a little bit of dirty filtrate. Received and reviewed the corrective action report from coastal bioanalyst regarding to the daily monitoring report quality assurance study reports and submitted to the DNREC on November the 25th. Completed all the final PAA report. The annual stormwater plan and the spill prevention control countermeasure reviews were conducted. Annual orient inspection was conducted. Drafted notification for the septic haulers about temporary closure for service for the Headworks project, and completed the DSWA and septic reports as necessary, and that completes my report.
Thank you, Councilman Quillen. A few comments before we close for the evening. It is holiday decorating contest season, and the judges will be coming your way beginning tomorrow night through Friday, perhaps this weekend. We're going to be around the neighborhood checking out all the lights, so make sure you get them out there. One of my favorite things of the year is to see our community put up the decorations. Some houses just look marvelous. They do a great job. So myself and the council will be judging in the next couple of days, so make sure you get everything out there and lit up. Do want to give thanks to everybody involved for the Christmas parade. Again, that's one of my favorite nights of the year, seeing the community out. Just a joyous experience. And to pull something like that off takes a lot of people, various city staff. The Downtown Seaford Association does a phenomenal job putting that together. Over 90 floats alone, various bands, just a lot to put together. And we're very accommodating to other cities and towns who had some cancellations last minute, so did a really phenomenal job with the Christmas parade. Excuse me. Thursday night, come out to Christmas on Mary Lane. We'll be out there, myself, some of my fellow council will be out there in the cold, shivering, but come check us out. It's a good time. They do a phenomenal job on that drive-through Christmas lane. It's always busy. They do a great job year-round to prepare that, and it's a joyous experience to participate in that. I want to give thanks to council. Thank you guys for coming in early tonight, 6 p.m. I know it's not ideal. Appreciate your sacrifice of getting in here. I believe it's well worth our time to recognize our state champion, Seaford Blue Jays. That was always exciting to get over there and see them, and Coach Glenn and the team have done a phenomenal job. Along those lines, that does not get done without a lot of people behind the scenes working and doing a lot of effort. I want to thank the school, Dr. D, Cam, Gigi Hastings, Doug Henry, the school board. Armor Rice was there tonight. The Seaford School Board and the district all came together to help us out and get this done in a short period of time. Thank you to Representative Danny Short for participating tonight. Thank you to State Senator Brian Richardson for also being there tonight. Huge thank you to Trish Newcomer and Beth for pulling this together. We got on the phone the Sunday after they won the state championship, said, can we put this together in a short period of time? And Trish, she hustled, got this all done, got individual plaques for the players and coaches, but in such a short period, short window. So Trish, you deserve your flowers on this one. Did a phenomenal job. Thank you so much all the way around for that. Again, I want to thank our Chief Wilson. Chief Wilson, Vice Mayor, hit the nail on the head. He's the only chief I've known since I've been involved in this whole city government thing. He's always been a huge resource to the community. Sad to see him go, but happy to see him leave at the same time. He's leaving a good legacy behind, and you saw the room filled with his counterparts. That's not by accident. That man carries a lot of respect at the department in this city, and very well deserved send off on his part. I think that's it. I think we're done here. At this time, no. Before we depart, Merry Christmas, everybody. This is our last meeting of the night, last meeting of the year. please enjoy your time with your friends and family. Just please take time to reflect on the year that was and the year that will be. Just God bless you all, and Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Merry Christmas. And with that, I'm going to ask for a motion to go into executive session.
Councilman Quillen, so moved.
A motion from Councilman Quillen. Is there a second?
Councilwoman Grassett, I second that
I have
motion.
a second from Councilwoman Grassett. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. Okay, we're going to enter into executive session at 8:24. Thank you.
Same to you.